Hello, we are the team number 6, and the topic is writing. The team members are Moran Sosa Samantha, Palomeque Hernandez Regina, and Fajardo Sanchez Stephanie.
The writing. What is the understand in the reading is that the student writing the use of the language, so the process is a bit long. Since most of the students will be complicated with the mechanism of the writing. These are some of the content of the writing. The writing is not always easy. What the book that about is that although student writing and speaking skills so out the classroom, the writing has certain features that seem difficult for a student to handle, especially younger children. Thus, on one connote of the how the some body language innovation, done a continent and help the other feature that help complete meaning and when the student hears the speaking, writing, grammar, spelling, and punctuation often have a property on the continent and so children while learning is a less complicated, why thus develop better in their learning. 2. Writing is called thinning. At this point, it means that there are difficulty in writing. It is foreign language. It is it is still high useful, essential, integral, and global um, enjoyable part of the foreign the language lesson. So it allows each student to express their personality and have the certain activity to guide them and not make it, it is difficult for them. And the three, cultural and writing activity are the basis for teaching a student to read and writing. So unlike other writing activity, cultural writing activity focus on establishing certain patterns of grammar, sentence structure, and punctuation on word order. This why they can help and the student learn to express themselves and effectively in content in English. Okay, a straight copy. What remains to be and understand it is of the text is that the student hard type, reading, writing, and in which the teacher has them to read aloud clearly and then they are asked to keep certain words. This helps uh, the connection between the writing and spoken word and so they will learn in the less complicated way. Watching it is part of the text in this community that you can vary the direct company in this case by asking the student to look for images and text on to match them by choosing a sentence from the text story so that they can develop in the teaching of the language. Um, do not find in the language to understand it. Okay, organize and copying. This image is an example organize and copying science is reference to the fact that copying can be a good idea of instruction. To instruction reading and can help the teacher to teach a student and they can understand that organizing and copying help the student and can organize well the activity that the teacher left them. Delayed copying. Making delayed copying can be fun to do in class to try visual short-term memory, which the teacher will write in a short sentence on the blackboard. The student will observe the sentence the teacher hears it, and it with a purpose that the student writing the same sentence that the teacher hears it on the blackboard, so the student will learn easily.
Hi, good morning. Now I'm going to talk about copying book. So it is useful for pupils to have a copying book where they can copy new vocabulary, a little dialogue, or stories. Dictation. Dictation is a very safe type of exercise if you, as a teacher, want to keep the language elementary and simple. So, for young learners, dictation should be short, should be made up of sentences which can be said in one breath, um, should be read or said at normal speed, and should have a purpose and be connected to work which has gone before or comes after. Guided written activities. The first one, filling exercises. Filling exercises are useful activities, especially at the beginner stages. They don't require much active production of language, since most of the language is given, but they do require understanding. With children who have progressed to level 2, they can be used to focus on specific language items like preposition or question forms. Also, filling exercises can be used for vocabulary work. Dictation. As a teacher, you might like to try dictating only half a sentence and asking pupils to complete it in their own way. And letter cards invitations. Letter writing seems to be a popular language class activity, and it is indeed a useful way of getting pupils to write short, meaningful pieces of writing. Ideally, letters are written to be sent, but you can have pupils writing to writing to each other and sending quotation mark their letters to classroom postman. And free writing activities. The first one, pupils need to be able to try out their language in a freer way. In free activities, the language is the pupil's own language, no matter what their level is. So, the teacher should be the initiator and helper and responsible for seeing that the task can be done by the pupils at that level. The second one, corrections. The teacher should try to look at the work being done, perhaps at the rough copy stage, correct mistakes, and suggest possible ideas or words. The third one, older pupils beyond the beginner level should be encouraged to rewrite their work so the final product is not what they hand in for correction, but the result of working on the piece of writing. So the teacher should give as much help as possible to the pupils both before the actual writing task begins and while the writing is going on. And finally, although it can be expensive and it is not possible for all classes, ideally each pupil should have a folder or a ring binder. of his or her own to keep all written working. If everything a pupil has written is in one place, then both the teacher and the pupil can see how much progress is being made in this folder.
Prep writing activities. Talking about subjects. The main difficulty with free writing activities seems to be going from nothing to something. To get to that, it is necessary that spend time on pre-writing work warm-up activities, which are designed to give them language ideas and encourage before they settle down to the writing itself. Talking about the subject, a short, simple conversation can be enough to get ideas. Word stars. First, put a keyword on the blackboard. Often pupils want to put in a word. When all the pupils have made their word stars, the teacher can do one star on the blackboard for everyone. This gives the whole class not only words, but also ideas about what to write. Vocabulary charts. Simple drawing or picture with vocabulary collection are fun, easy to make, and always useful reminders of the words. And finally, topic vocabulary. Vocabulary can also be built up by collecting related words. The teacher asks to pupils something about the topic and they can answer only with the words. To help them, the teacher can use picture dictionaries as much as can. Dialogues. The dialogues can be guided following a very strict pattern or they can be completely free. They can be very short and to the point or they can be long and complicated. A. Speech bubbles can be very useful for both. In the pictures, there are examples of a simple dialogue that are kids talking and are for setting the scenes that is represented with a teddy bear talking about what for lunch. B. The following dialogue is a result of a pair of work based on a model dialogue, but it is clear from the type of language used that a lot of work has been done on spoken dialogues before this. And C. The dialogue below was also the result of a pair work, but this time working on a given situation. In the picture, see two persons talking that are a situation. Description. Lots of writing includes description as do dialogues, but strength picture descriptions can become a bit dull. Collage is usually a large piece of paper or a board which is made into a poster or a picture by sticking on illustration, text, and other materials. And picture description. According to the reading, the description of an utility room on the following page was written by two older pupils in their third year of learning English, and we can see the effect of oral work in the question at the end of the description. Letters. The first three letters could be little notes to other pupils along the lines of the guided letters. They can also be written to the teacher, and these letters should be answered without any comments on the language. Letters to imaginary people are not nearly as interesting or as much fun as a letter to real pen friends. And finally, class letters, cassettes, and individual letters are all possible if you have contact of this kind. Stories. Writing group stories is a good idea since writing can be shared and rewriting is not such a burden. Free writing covers a much wider range of activities than we have gone into here. For example, poems, books, reviews, postcards. Writing is an exciting and rewarding activity and is the most visible of the skills. Finally, summary of do's and don'ts of free writing. Do's. Conce- Concentrate first on content. Spend a lot of time on pre-writing work. Make sure that it springs naturally for other language work. Try to make sense of whatever the pupils have written and say something positive about it. Encourage, but don't insist on rewriting. Display the material whenever possible. And finally, keep all the pupils writing. And the don'ts. Announce the subject out of the blue and expect pupils to be able to write about it. Set an exercise as a work without any preparation. Correct all the mistakes you can find. And finally, set work that is beyond the pupil's language capability. This is all for our part, and thank you so much for seeing our video. Bye.